My name is Hank Chesko. I'm working alone this afternoon, so sit down, relax, and enjoy the game. Go grab yourself a cold beverage, and we're going to enjoy the fourth game of the season here for the Panthers. A couple things to look for in this afternoon's match. The Panthers are not a particularly tall team, and the Lions are led by 6'7" senior Rob Bartels. We'll see if the Panthers are able to sag down on defense and help out with a little bit stronger presence underneath the basket. They haven't been tested with any taller teams yet this season. Again, starting lineups, we've got Mindbress, he'll be jumping center, McShane, Conwell, McLean, and the freshman, Christian Shea. The Lions from South Fayette are a little bit more senior of a team. They've got 4 seniors and a junior in their starting lineup versus the 4 juniors and a freshman that St. Clair starts. South Fayette is a double-A team. Upper St. Clair plays their games in the Quad A conference. Although I think in the next few years you'll see South Fayette moving up a bracket or two. Lots of construction, lots of expansion in that school district. I don't think they'll be double-A for very long. Opening tap, controlled by the Panthers. McShane with the dribble, being pressured. Over to McLean, looks around. Into Conwell. Conwell with his back to the basket on the taller Bartels. Works for a shot. Off the backboard. Lions breaking fast. Bartels on the break. He got pushed from behind, but it wasn't called. And it was followed up by number 23, Sean McElhaney. Panthers set their offense. Over to Shea. Surveys the territory. Holzer barking in place from the sideline. Lion loses his balance, but quickly recovers. Shane off dribble penetration, drives, yes. First basket for McShane. McShane intercepts the pass. He's going to take it all the way in. He's stripped, but there was a foul on the hand. Not much of a foul, but a foul nonetheless. McShane will go to the line, shooting 2. Again, some nice anticipation on the defensive part of Pat McShane. First one rims out. Clock winds to 7:03. Score 2-2 here in the early going. McShane off the front rim. Mindbress fights for the ball, but the Lions control it. McShane putting some pressure on Cedric as he tries to get the Lions offense set. Over to 21, Yater. Ball bounces around. McLean controls for the Panthers. Breaks down the right side. Mindbress fakes the 3. Drive. Dishes to Conwell. Again, a little bit of a height disadvantage there for Dane today. Dane out in the corner. Pump fake on Bartels. Drives. Foul. Dane's a strong player. He's giving away a little bit of height today to Bartels, but Dane's a running back. Dane's a strong kid. Bartels a tall but slender 6'7". First one by Conwell. Rims out and makes us 0 for 3 from the free throw line today. I can't please Coach Holder. Get these opportunities to score with the clock stopped. You need to take advantage of it. Second shot by Conwell. Again, rims out. Bartels the rebound. 6:27 here left to go in the first quarter as Cedric brings the ball up court. Still tied up, 2-2. Conwell anticipates, goes in, puts it up lefty, lays it in. 4-2. Again, McShane as usual pressuring his opposition's point guard. A little pushing and shoving by Cedric and McShane. Pass a little too hot to handle for Bartels. McLean tries to sneak in, but the Lions consolidate, control the ball. Cedric trying to make a little penetration against McShane. Bartels out at the top. Conwell matching up. Off the continuity. They hit the open man as he came around the pick, but Conwell fouls him as he goes to the basket. That should be Dane's first today. This is the first time the Lions have been to the free throw line. Now the PA announcer is calling him Yoder. And I said Yater. I'm going to double check with someone from South Fayette to get the correct pronunciation on that. Yater, I'm right. The system is wrong, and he makes two. Nice, smooth stroke by Mr. Yater. Makes the score 4-4. We've got number 10 checking in for the Lions. That's Joe Salco. McLean inbounds the ball to Mindbreast. Shane comes up, set the offense. Looks like they're in their continuity. South Fayette playing a man-to-man. McShane looking to back in, kicks it back out. Now, one of the things we've seen in the early going, in the early part of the season, is the Panthers are not afraid to put up a three, but I don't think we've taken a three yet tonight. McLean drives, dishes to Conwell. Conwell had the layup, and it bounces out. South Fayette counterattacking. St. Clair playing their usual man-to-man. Penetration, dishes off to Bartels for two. St. Clair works the ball around the perimeter. Bartels got away with a little bit of a shove. Shea takes our first three-pointer. Back of the rim. South Fayette controls the rebound. That's Salco now running the point in for Zedrick. St. Clair in the matchup. Three-pointer, front rim, bounces around. Conwell controls. A little token pressure on the offensive board by the taller Lions. Mindbreast from the corner for three. St. Clair not shooting well here in the early going. We've got Salco bringing the ball up. McShane pressuring as usual. And that pressure resulted in a travel violation. Salco not looking very comfortable with the pressure being applied by McShane. 4:08 to go here in the first quarter. Score remains 6-4. We'll see if the Panthers can cut into that lead. It's like we have McLean running the point. McShane into McShane. A little too much height underneath. Christian jumper for three. No, he's saying his foot was on the line. Looked like a three to me, but it only counts as two. Lions bringing the ball up court. Pass a little too hot to handle, but again, the pressure defense caused that turnover as well. McShane bringing the ball up court. Over to McLean. Shea into Conwell. Conwell looking at this. Top of the key, Mindbreast had a thought. Give it to McShane. Open three. Back rim. Lions control the ball. 6-6, 3:20 to go here in the first quarter. Bartels up top. Shane pressuring him. Doesn't look terribly comfortable handling the ball. Pressure defense causes a turnover. Conwell drives. Back rim gets his own rebound. Misses the rebound. Lions on the break. 2-on-0. McShane comes over. Shane came over, he's shaken up a bit, but it looks like we're going to get an offensive foul against the Lions. Pat is down. Oh, Pat took an elbow or a knee coming in there to play defense. He's a tough kid. He's a quarterback, as we all know from our from the football season, and cornerback. So he's used to a little bit of contact. Hope he's not hurt too badly. Looks like they might be, not sure if he's going to continue or not. I think he's going to catch a breath and get some attention from the trainer. We have Adam Anderson, 24, replacing him. We'll probably see Shea and McLean running the 1-2 guard spots and have Adam go to a forward position. Force the ball into Mindbreast. Mindbreast pressure from behind. St. Clair. Oh, that's a quick jump, and Mindbreast and McElhaney having some words. And I don't think it was anything major, just a little bumping and fighting for the ball. But there is a technical being called on Holzer. Holzer didn't like what the ref said. And he didn't like what Coach Holder said. That's not characteristic of the normally well-composed Coach Holder. But nonetheless, 6-6, 2:40 to go here in the first quarter. Lions ball. A poor shooting night so far for the Panthers. Looks like the Lions are going to a spread offense, not quite a four-corner. Panthers applying pressure. Lions look to dribble. Nice move by number 22, Mark Yater. That's his first basket. Oh, I'm sorry, that was DiDonato, not Yater. 8-6, Lions have a 2-point lead. McClain running the point, works it over to the right side. Tries to force it into McClain. Pass wasn't there. Nice little bit of defense by the Lions. McShane is back into the game. That was a short rest for him. Yeah, nice little bit of defense there by number 23 from the Lions, Sean McElhaney. Salco back in running the point for the Lions. I'm sorry, that was Zedrick. Zedrick running back in running the point for the Lions. McClain on him. Number 21 off his hand. Pass was just a little too hot to handle from Zedrick. Adam Anderson will be inbounding the ball to McClain. I'm sorry, to McShane. Too many mix on this team. McShane, McClain. I'll keep it straight. Anyway, Christian has the ball over to Conwell. Conwell surveying his options, doesn't see anybody open. Dribbles over to Anderson. Anderson barking an order over to him. Not much movement in the offense right now. Bartels isn't coming out on Conwell. I think he will need to. Dane can make that shot. Little pump fake, dribbles by him, left hand to the basket. Nothing. Lions control the ball. 8-6, clock winding to 1:05 here in the first quarter. McShane picking up Zedrick. Ooh, looks like he got away with a little bit of a shovel there. Zedrick, Bartels trying to work the ball inside. He tipped the ball, keeps it alive with line breast control. Here come the Panthers. McShane bringing the ball up the left-hand side of the court. Looking to make a little penetration, decides against it. Panthers working the ball around the perimeter. And I think we're going to reset our offense and start over. McShane looking to make some penetration against Zedrick. Does. Beats Zedrick on the dribble, and then is fouled. A little bit of there's some contact here between the Panther and number 21 for the Lions. That's Yater. Yater's shaking up a bit, but it looks like he's going to stay in the game. This is McShane's second trip to the line tonight. He was 0 for 2 on his first trip. Panthers have yet to make a free throw. 0 for 4. That's got to change. Looking to cut into the lead. McShane drops it in nicely over the front rim. Make the score 8-7. We've got a couple of substitutions coming in here. Polashenko coming in for the Panthers with 34.6 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Number 12 for the Lions also reported in. McShane makes a second free throw. Making score 8-8. Clock ticking, 26 seconds to go. Lions with the ball at the top of the key. Looking for some options. Nobody's open. Panthers, nice pressure defense. Ooh, like a little bit of a slide of his back foot, but no call. Three-pointer. Yes. Very nice shot. Another basket. That's a three-pointer by McElhaney. A little bit of contact over in front of the scorer's bench. McElhaney pressuring the ball. Panthers got a little bit sloppy there, bringing the ball in with only 3 seconds to go. Nice hustle on the part of McElhaney to force McShane into that foul. Mindbreast deflects the ball. Desperation three at the buzzer. No good. Well, that last three-pointer by McElhaney gave South Fayette Lions an 11-8 lead at the end of the first quarter. Last week, before the South Fayette game, I threw out some props to my alma mater, Bucknell University. They played the Villanova Wildcats at home. First time a ranked team ever played in Lewisburg, Pennsylvania. Unfortunately, the the Bison's undefeated season was ended. They played a tough game against Villanova, kept it close for about 3/4 of the game, but then the Villanova was just a little too strong at the end, and Villanova wound up winning that game 79-60. The Bisons, however, are ranked number 3 in the country in the mid-majors, behind Gonzaga and Old Dominion, and actually were the number 26th ranked team in the Associated Press poll last week. That's the highest ranking ever for a Patriot League team, highest ranking ever for the Bisons. So Pat, keep up the good work. It was nice for your old teammate Jay Wright, the head coach of Villanova, to come in and play a game at beautiful Stoika Pavilion. Better days are coming. Keep up the good work. Another little news tidbit about Bucknell. The new Stoika Natatorium was actually the host site for the NCAA Men's Division I water polo championships, won by USC over Stanford. Well, here we go. McShane has the ball top of the key. Let's see if he can cut into that Lion lead. Panthers working the ball on the perimeter. Shea dribbles it over. Mindbreast, who may have gone away with a shovel. A little shuffle of his feet. No call. Ball being pressured. Lions appear to know that the Panthers can make those three-point shots. McLean, back rim. Conwell fighting for the rebound, controlled by Mindbreast. Over to Conwell. McShane in the corner. McElhaney quickly on him. McShane penetrates, drives, basket. McShane leading the Panthers here with 6 points. Makes the score 11-10. Lions protecting a 1-point lead with 7:11 to go here in the second quarter. McElhaney up top. Over to number 12. Ramage. Panther defense. Sagging back a little bit. Now McShane comes out to pressure Cedric. Cedric gets a half step on McShane. Dishes to the corner for a 3 by number 3. Gets his own rebound. McElhaney, I think his foot was on the line. No basket. Conwell fights for the rebound. Controls it. Over to McLean. Panthers, semi-fast break. McLean thinks twice. Over to Pat. McShane. McShane into the corner to Mindbreast. Working around the perimeter. Panthers aren't seeing too many gaps as of yet in this Lion defense. McShane fakes, goes baseline. In the corner to Mindbreast. Mindbreast with the 2 off the rim. Conwell tips the rebound over to McShane. McShane lays it in. It gives the Panthers their first lead of the night, 12-11 with 6:09 to go here in the second quarter. McShane leading all scorers with 8 points here in the early going. Lions look for a drive. Mindbreast shuffles over. We have a whistle. Timeout Lions with the score 12-11. Hey, as I was saying on the last break, it was a nice little bonus for my alma mater Bison to actually host a men's Division I championship of any sort. Again, first time the Patriot League has ever hosted a Division I final in any sport. So again, it's a new facility built there on the Lewisburg campus, the Natatorium as it's called, and I was quite surprised. I was on a business trip out in California this week, eating my dinner at a restaurant in San Mateo, and I look up and here I see the scoreboard saying Bucknell University. I'm not sure the California fans were too excited about traveling 2,700 miles to watch 4 California teams compete in the semifinals and finals. But it was, I think, a nice gesture on the part of the NCAA to bring the water polo championship back east, even though no team from the east has ever played in the water polo championship. Here we go. Lions looking to inbound the ball. 12-11, 5:56 to go in the second quarter. Again, McShane matching up on Cedric. McElhaney looks to drive. A little bit of bumping there, and it looks like we're going to call be a push call on Mindbreast. But it's DiDonato going to the line, not McElhaney. My fault. It'll be his first trip to the line tonight. Mindbreast's first personal foul. First shot by DiDonato is up and good. We're knotted at 12-12. Second shot also finds the bottom of the basket. Gives the Lions a 1-point lead. McShane bringing the ball up. Thought about throwing it over to Shea. Had second thoughts. dump the ball into Conwell. Conwell back out to McShane. Pat looking to drive on Cedric. Throws up a right-handed. Conwell, nice offensive rebound. Three-pointer by Mindbreast, front rim. Rebound DiDonato. Lions bringing the ball back down court very deliberately. Cedric tries to get a step on McShane, but he slides over. Yater at the top of the key. Drops it into McElhaney. McElhaney, nice little spin move on Conwell. Give the Lions a three-point lead. That's the second time he has made a signal that McElhaney has made that crossed hand signal to the bench after he scored a basket. And I think the official is warning him about that sign. I don't think he wants to have him inciting the crowd. I did notice him do that earlier, and the ref caught it this time as well. Mindbreast out for breath. Anderson in for Mindbreast. McShane crosses half court. Cedric picking him up. Anderson setting a pick up at the top of the key from McShane. McShane surveys his options. That's Christian's favorite spot. Front rim. Rebound Cedric. Cedric looks to break. Pulls it back out. McElhaney over to DiDonato. DiDonato, nice drive. Nice little jump lay-in. That stretches the Lion lead to 5 points, 17-12 with 4:34 to go here in the first half. McShane over to McLean. McLean Anderson, he'll take a three if he's open. They have to come out and pick him up. Shea over to McShane. McShane to McLean. Looking for a little penetration, doesn't see it. Anderson will take that shot. Side rim. Conwell fighting for the rebound. Bartell saves it. Ball bouncing around. Who's it going to belong to? And I think they were saying that it is off of the Panthers. No, they're staying down there. Bounced off the foot of a Lion player. Paul Shenko back in. Over to Conwell. Drives on Bartels. Looks like Bartel got a piece of the ball and a piece of Conwell at the same time. Conwell making his second trip to the line. With 0 for 2 in his first trip to the line. That's the fourth team foul on the Lions. First one by, Conwell having a tough night from the free throw line. Would like to cut into that 5-point Lion lead. Got a couple of substitutions here for the Lions. Bartels stepping out. Yater is stepping out. Conwell going to the line for the second free throw. And another brick off the back rim for Conwell. He's 0 for 4 tonight. We're making some free throws. St. Clair would be in this game, but right now it's a Lion 5-point lead. They double the ball. Oh, and he was just, Polashenko just a half step late getting over to there. They had the double team out on the wing, and Polashenko slid in to try to make the interception of that pass. But he was just a half step late and picked up his first personal foul. Cedric in the backcourt being picked up by McShane. Over to number 12, Ramage. DiDonato drives. Not a good shot there by DiDonato. The air ball is brought down by St. Clair. McShane looking to drive. Over to Christian. Christian over to Anderson. Back to McShane. Top of the key. St. Clair has not been able to drain their three-point shots as they had been able to in their previous 3 games. Clock winds at 3:14. McShane looking to cut into the 5-point Lion lead. Anderson got a step. McShane fakes. Another fake. Shea. Yes. Freshman hits a pull. He steps up and hits a 3, making it a 17-15 South Fayette lead. Panthers stepping up their defense a little bit. McShane picking up DiDonato. That's a little bit of a mismatch if McShane doesn't switch back. McShane tips the ball away from Cedric, but the ball will go out of bounds off of McShane. Cedric a little slow getting up, hit the ground, hit the floor hard. That wood floor comes up fast sometimes. That's number 10 checking in for the Lions. That's Joe Salco. He'll be putting the ball in. Cedric in the backcourt, still trying to shake off that last play, but he'll be fine. He's like a tough young kid. McShane picking him up near midcourt. Panthers are looking to double the ball on the wings. Working the ball around the perimeter. Cedric kicks it back out to Salco. Into the corner. It was Opar that had the ball in the corner. I had to check my roster there. 3-point attempt. Anderson and Conwell kind of fought for the ball. Neither one of them picked it up. South Fayette maintained control. Hit a cutting Cedric. And then Conwell came over and fouled Cedric and sent him to the line for 2. Minute 58 to go here in the second quarter. Cedric looking to extend the 2-point line lead. I think the Lions are giving the Panthers a little bit more opposition than they faced in their first 3 games this season. McLean checking back in for Conwell. He's going to the bench with his second personal foul. This is a rather small, quick lineup we have in here for the Panthers right now. McLean, McShane, and Shea, Poloshenko, and Anderson. Let's see what the Panthers can do. 19-15, South Fayette with a 4-point lead. Anderson trying to set a pick from McShane up high. Penetrates, kicks to Shea. That's Christian's favorite spot, but it's off the front rim, controlled by DiDonato. I'm sorry, controlled by McElhaney. Cedric bringing the ball up court. DiDonato over to McElhaney. McElhaney passed a little too hot to handle for number 10, Joe Salco. And the Panthers will get the ball with 1:27 to go here in the second quarter. Pat holding up 2 fingers. Coach Holder sent that play in from the bench. Let's see what 2 is. Looks like they're in their continuity offense. Poloshenko dishes over to McShane. McShane, nice dribble drive and a lay-in. That's 10 points for McShane, lead all scorers. Cuts the lead to 19-17. Cedric got a half step on McShane, but threw up a not great shot selection. Panthers come right back. It looked like Shea was fouled on that lay-in, or at least the basket was hit. But Anderson is there to clean it up, lay it in, and he's fouled. As you've heard me say in previous games, Adam just has a nose for the ball under the basket. If there's an offensive rebound to be had, Adam is going to find a way to get that ball and put it back up strong. This is his first trip to the line this evening. And checking in for the Panthers, number 21, Mike Cartier. This is his first action in a varsity game this season. He had missed the first 3 games. He did participate in the JV game earlier today, which, by the way, JV won by 12 points over the South Fayette JV team. Anderson back of the rim. South Fayette controls the ball. 19-19, 40 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Cartier loses his feet. South Fayette fans calling for a foul in the backcourt. Cartier getting away with a lot of hand checking, but there was no call. Sometimes you get those fresh legs in off the bench, and Mike was pestering Cedric on that series. McShane looks like he's looking to take the last shot over to Poloshenko. Panthers in no hurry. Clock winds, ticks to 12-12. 9 seconds. McShane looking to make a move. Dribbles past Cedric. Tries a layup. Got pushed. No call. Desperation 3 at the buzzer off the backboard. As you may have just held my breath there while the score is announced by the PA man. 19-19. Let's take a break. Go get yourself a cold beverage. I'm going to do the same, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes. Got about a minute to go before the teams leave the court during warm-ups. Let's just recap some of the action from the first half. We saw the teams trade baskets in the first quarter. First quarter ended with a score 11-11. In the second quarter, South Fayette broke out to a 5-point lead. We saw the Panthers fight back, claw their way back to tie it up 19-19. Is where we stand right now. Reviewing the scoring, we have McShane leading the Panthers with 8 points, Mindbreast 2, Shea a 3-pointer and a field goal for 5, and Conwell and Anderson also contributed 2 each. Over on the South Fayette side, we had Donato with 6, Yater with 5, McElhaney with 6, and Bartels with 2 to bring us where we are at 19-19. We were anticipating the 6'7" Bartels creating some matchup problems for the Panthers, but it looked like it was McElhaney with his better athleticism and his ability to, not just be a 6'6" presence, but also to drive, just keeping South Fayette Lions in the game. It'll be interesting to see what Coach Holzer goes to here in the second half. Again, he's at a bit of a height disadvantage. The Panthers being a quicker running and quicker shooting team. We'll see what he matches up with. Looks like the Panthers are taking the court. They're back to the original starting lineup of McLean, McShane, Shea, Conwell, and Mindbreast. And it looks like the Lions are back to their starting lineup. 21 Yater, 22 Donato, 25 Bartels, 2 Zedrick, and number 23 McElhaney. Here we go. Zedrick up top. McShane picks him up. Over to McElhaney. And that's a tough match. That's a tough matchup for Shea. He's outsized there. That's a tough matchup underneath with McElhaney, another big boy. The 2-pointer off the back rim. Ball bounces around. Lions controlled offensive rebound. It appeared that Donato made a nice move to the basket, but the officials saw him shuffle his feet, called a walk. Here come the Panthers. 19-19, 7:30 to go here in the third quarter. Panthers setting up their offense. Mindbreast and Conwell on the blocks. McShane over to the left to McLean. McLean looks to get it inside to Conwell. Nothing there. Working across the perimeter over to Shea. Shea back up top. Panthers are in no hurry right now. Kind of seeing what kind of defense and what the matchups are from the Lions. McShane looks to drive. Gets a step on Cedric. Kicks it back out to Mindbreast. Mindbreast tries to drive. McElhaney left none of that. McShane tries to go baseline. No dice. Over to Conwell. A little pump fake on Bartels. Drives. Had a step on Bartels, but the 6'7" Bartels came from behind and made a nice rejection of the Conwell lay-in. McLean will inbounds and underneath the line's basket. McShane, an open 3. He had the shot. Wanted to get a little closer. McLean, in and out. Looked like Mindbreast was over the back of McElhaney, but a good no call. Here come the Lions. Looking to break this 19-19 deadlock. Donato over to McElhaney. McElhaney looks to drive on Mindbreast. Mindbreast steps in nicely. Cedric resets the offense for the Lions. Getting some instruction from Coach Rich Bonaire. They set up in the continuity offense. There was some penetration, a pass inside, and some contact. And let's see what we have here as we settle it all up, settle it out. Foul on Mindbreast. Line ball. Cedric working the ball around the perimeter over to Donato. Donato tries to force it inside to Bartels. A little too tall for the 6'7" Bartels. That must have been very tall. Ball out of bounds to St. Clair. Anderson checking in for Mindbreast. He's going to take a breather with his third foul here early in the third quarter. McShane looks at his options as he crosses half court. Cedric picks him up. Dribbling around the perimeter. Panthers standing still a little bit right now. McShane dribbles to the right, dishes over to Anderson. Shea looks to drive, kicks it over to McLean. 3 from deep in the corner. Shot was a little long, but there was Anderson fighting for that offensive rebound, but the ball was off his hand. It'll be line ball. 5:43 here to go in the third quarter. Score remains 19-19. We've had 2 minutes and some change go by. Neither team been able to score here yet in the second half. A couple of sloppy passes from the Lions and some bad shots for St. Clair. And that's what that pressure up top will do. 21 Yater just wasn't sure what to do with the ball, so he threw it out of bounds to stop the clock. Is they win football? I don't think so. Just a turnover for the Lions. Here come the Panthers. McShane at the top. Zedrick picking him up. Gets a half step on Zedrick. Shea over to McLean. McLean into Conwell. Conwell back out to McShane. Lions playing some nice defense right now. Now, looks like they may have jumped back into a 2-3 zone here. I'm not sure why a team with already having a height advantage would go into a zone. South Fayette fans calling for a walk, but they're going to have a foul. Looks like Conwell's going to go to the line. Second on Bartles as Shane goes to the line, or as Dane goes to the line. Converts the first one. He had already missed 4 free throws in the first half, so maybe he's found the range. Back rim, sorry, didn't mean to jinx him. 1 for 5 from the line tonight, but that does give the Panthers a 1-point lead. Ball bounces around, rebound to the Lions. Zedrick trying to set his offense up over to DiDonato. Bartels goes back door on Conwell. It looked like Anderson had stepped in soon enough to draw the offensive on Bartels. He was a little bit out of control as he went through the line, but they say that Anderson got over there a half second too late, and that'll send Bartels to the line. First one bounces around, no basket. Checking in for McLean is Polishenko. Also checking in for South Fayette, number 3, Steve Nicholas. He's probably coming in for Bartels. Looks like he will wait till after this shot. Off, tough rebound by Conwell. And it looks like Nicholas is just going to have to wait until there's another stoppage in play. Shane setting up. 2019 Panthers by 1. Conwell, fake, tries to drive on Bartels. Nothing doing. McShane calls the play. Over to Christian. Christian over to Conwell. Conwell drives on Bartels. Left-hand shot. Conwell drove. Tried to get his own rebound, but he came in from out of bounds. You can't do that. Ball goes over to South Fayette. McShane applying pressure in the backcourt. Panthers guarding a 1-point lead, 2019, as the clock approaches 4 minutes here to go in the third quarter. Bounce pass from Zedrick over to Yater. Yater was kind of pushed from behind and couldn't get to the pass, but a no call on that play, and the ball harmlessly bounces out of bounds. St. Clair takes possession. McShane bringing the ball up the left side of the court. Christian loses his man, but then loses the ball. Oh, I don't know about that. We had a little bit of contact there. Pat thought he was playing cornerback and went over the back to try to intercept that pass and break it up, but unfortunately that kind of contact is not allowed by these officials here tonight. Nice try by Pat, though. Would have been a nice turnover had he gotten it. Polishenko deflects the ball on the inbounds pass from Yater, excuse me. DiDonato in the backcourt being picked up by Shea. DiDonato over to number 3, who's checked into the game for the Lions. Not sure where the foul was on that play. Looks like DiDonato is going to be going to the line. Looking to tie the game up with his first free throw. It's good. Ties the score up 20-20 with 3:50 to go here in the third quarter. That is the first point of the second half. That is the first point of the second half for the Lions. And I guess they called him in the act of shooting for a 3-point shot. So he's getting three free throws. Makes the first 2, last one no good. Front rim, rebound Lions. There's that 6'6" McElhaney crashing the boards. Lions retain possession. They'll be inbounding under their own basket with a 1-point lead. inbounds pass, but he gets the foul. Thank you. That's 5 fouls on the Panthers. 2 more and we'll have 1-on-1 situation for the Lions. Panthers picking up the defensive pressure out on the perimeter. McElhaney, fake, drive, back rim, nothing, no good. Anderson rebound, out to Paulshenko. Paulshenko over to Conwell, cutting down the middle. Conwell drives, lays it up with the left hand. Oh, he was fouled on the play. We'll go to the line. Looking to give the Panthers, looking first to tie it up and then give the Panthers the lead. Conwell misses the first. Paulshenko goes to the bench. And Mindbress is checked back in. Conwell ties it up. 21-21. Here comes Cedric. Cedric over to DiDonato. McElhaney calling for the ball. Anderson fronts him very nicely. And DiDonato was looking to make a pass, and while he was looking to make a pass, he forgot that he can't use 2 hands to dribble it. He's arguing about the call, but I'm not sure the ref wants to hear any of it. He's asking for a definition of what it means to double dribble, and he doesn't like what he's been told, but it just doesn't matter. Step back and play some defense, son. Mindbress on the perimeter. Anderson now see, you'll see that happen. You know, he was frustrated by the call when he had the ball, and he came out and tried to atone for it, tried to make an aggressive play, and gets a crummy foul out at 30 feet away from the basket. But it's his first foul, so he's okay. Christian Shea bring the ball over half-court line, picked up by number 10, Joe Salto. McShane in the corner. Saw a cutting Shea, but decided against it. Shea, 3-point range, Mindbress, dribble drive, nice body control, squares up, doesn't drop, kicks it back out to Shea. Shea from his favorite spot, front rim, Mindbress fighting for the ball, and Anderson controlled by DiDonato. Panthers had a couple of nice scoring opportunities on that possession, but just couldn't get the ball to drop. Here's McShane picking up Cedric. Score 21-21 with 2:11 to go in the third quarter. Nicholas with the ball. Bounce pass over to DiDonato. Lions running their motion offense. Cedric controls the ball. Looks around. Says, let's start over. Go. Nicholas clapping for the ball. Nice pressure up top by McShane and Anderson. Into DiDonato, backs in on Mindbress, rejected, but Nicholas is there for the follow-up. That gives the Lions a 2-point lead with 1:23 to go here in the third quarter. Mindbress from 3-point range, looks, nice pick and roll to Anderson. Anderson backs in, a no call on a little contact. McShane, nice drive, penetration, 2 points. It's his first basket of the second quarter. Ties it up 23-23. Cedric crosses midcourt with a minute to go here in the third quarter. Looked like some sort of violation there, but there was a no call. DiDonato drives, rebound off to Nicholas. That's his second basket. He gives the Lions a 2-point lead. Mindbress comes right back and ties it up 25-25. A little flurry of scoring here late in the third quarter. And there's a timeout with 35.1 seconds to go. South Fayette calls a timeout. I think this is of the 30-second variety. While we have a few seconds, I know one of the things we like to do during these broadcasts is talk about some of our St. Clair graduates that are now playing at the collegiate level. Nice little article in this week's, on Thursday of this past week about Penn State and their their linebacker, Poludny, and how Sean Lee, Upper St. Clair graduate, was actually working out with them and getting some pointers from an All-American linebacker. Hopefully Sean will be able to step in another year or so when he's a sophomore or junior and play some linebacker for the Nittany Lions. Speaking of Lions, here's our South Fayette Lions inbounding the ball with 33 seconds to go in the quarter. Cartier is in, pressuring Zedrick. Bartels back into the game also, has the ball pretty far away from the basket for a center. 21 Yater looks to make a move on Mindbreast. Nothing doing. Cartier really harassing Zedrick, getting away with a couple little hand checks. Pokes the ball away. Since he touched it, there's no backcourt call. Clock ticks to 5. DiDonato throws up a prayer. Conwell controls it underneath the line basket. And after teams traded baskets there near the end, we have 25-25, end of the third quarter. Not sure that our Panthers were expecting this kind of a fight from the feisty South Fayette Lions, but after 3 quarters, we're all tied up. Some other St. Clair news this week. The Pirates picked up Sean Casey, an Upper St. Clair graduate. I know there's a lot of excitement in and around Pittsburgh to have an all-star first baseman and a local product come back to the Pirates. He and his wife do a lot for the community. I know they were involved in quite a number of charitable activities in Cincinnati. So it's real nice to see him coming back home, as it were, even though he's never played for the Pirates before. Welcome back, Sean. Each team scored 6 points in the third quarter. Steve Nicholas came off the bench to grab a couple of offensive rebounds for the Lions, give them a little bit of a spark. Yater contributed 2 free throws to finish up the scoring. On the St. Clair side, we had Conwell with a couple of free throws. McShane had a bucket, as did Mindbreast, for the 6 points that St. Clair put in the third quarter. Here comes McShane over half guard, picked up by Zedrick. Over to McLean. Conwell top of the key. Bartels not coming out on him, daring him to shoot. St. Clair's been getting some good looks at the basket, but there's a lid on it from 3-point range for them tonight. St. Clair taking his time, looking to see where the holes in the South Fayette defense is, or are. Shea dribbles. Conwell tries to go baseline. Bartels tries to cut off the baseline, but is called for a foul. McShane will be inbounding it from underneath the St. Clair basket. Nicholas checking back in. Mindbreast up top, over to Conwell. McShane calls for the wall, drill penetration, dishes to McLean in the corner. 2-pointer by Dave McLean. That's his first basket of the evening. Gives the Panthers a 2-point lead with 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Cedric dribbling up top, over to DiDonato. DiDonato over to Yater. Yater content to just stand there until someone comes out to guard him. Cedric on the drive, beats his man, but then throws an ill-advised pass into the corner where it's picked up by Dave McLean. Here come the Panthers. Conwell in the corner, little pump fake, kicks it back out to McShane. McShane had thoughts about taking the 3, decides to make a drive. Layup, no good. He had to go high off the board because of the help out on defense by McElhaney. And here come the Lions, trying to tie this game up. Right now, Panthers have a 2-point lead. Nice dribble penetration. Dump off to Nicholas. Nicholas off the bench with 6 points for the South Fayette Lions. He's giving them a spark when they needed it. Shea drive, picked up. Mindbreast rebound. and he's fouled on the play. That's a good example of where one player beats his man, drives, doesn't necessarily make the basket, but because the defense had to help out on Shea, Mindbreast was able to get the offensive rebound on the weak side and then go up strong, make the lane, and he was fouled. Mindbreast's 7th point of the evening, of the afternoon, as he makes the free throw. Gives the Panthers a 3-point lead, 30-27 with 5:50 to go in the fourth quarter. DiDonato over to Yater. Bartels checks back in, picked up by Mindbreast. Mindbreast deflects the ball. McElhaney grabs the loose ball, passes back out to Yater. Zedrick says, let's reset. Yater, got Conwell and McElhaney, little pushy, shovey thing going on. Kicks it back out to Zedrick. Zedrick, foot was over the line. That's a 2-point basket, but he was wide open. That's Zedrick's first basket of the evening. Mindbreast from the corner, rattles out. Conwell fighting for the rebound, and it looks like it's going to be out off of the Lions. We've got number 3, Nicholas, checking in for McElhaney. McShane tries to penetrate, ball's batted away, then batted away by the Panthers as now we're getting a little racehorse basketball, a little loosey-goosey here all of a sudden. Basketball flying everywhere, 4 passes. Let's slow it down, and McLean's going to inbound the ball from the corner over to Conwell. A little flurry of activity there. Shea at the top of the key. McShane trying to post up Zedrick. Oh, little no call. McShane throw barely hits the rim. Shea, nice rebound over to McLean. It's got to be a foul there somewhere. And as South Fayette tried to double team McLean in the corner, a foul was called on Yater. The 6th foul of the half for the Lions, so we're not shooting yet. McLean inbounding the ball. Conwell to McLean. Back to Pat. Pat will give and go with Conwell. Nothing going. Wisely kicks the ball back out. Conwell trying to drive on Bartles. He's tied up. McShane comes over to help him out. They're trying to double McShane in the corner. Bartels was trying to double team on McShane, and he's called for a foul. He just picked up 2 quick ones, and he's going to take a seat on the bench. They're bringing in number 20, Opar, back in. McShane's going to go to line, shooting 1-and-1. Panthers have a 1-point lead. McShane looking to extend that. 4:26 to go in the game. First one by McShane, rattles out. Rebound controlled by Opar, who just checked in. Here comes Zedrick. Over to DiDonato. DiDonato gets past Shea. Defense comes over to help out, but they sort of tackled him. That's a case where Christian needs to stay in front of his man, not allow him to beat him on the dribble drive. Opar going to the line. DiDonato's made a couple of free throws already tonight. First one back. Oh, and he gets the shooter's bounce. Mindbreast checks back in for the Panthers. DiDonato looking to give the Lions the lead with the second free throw. Drains it, 31-30. Lions have a 1-point lead. Shane in the corner to Shea. Working the ball around the perimeter. Mindbreast. Head fake on Nicholas. Nicholas didn't bite. McShane looking to penetrate on his own. Over to McLean in the corner. Back rim. Rebound Lions. DiDonato bringing the ball. Shea picking him up at the midcourt stripe. DiDonato Doesn't want to use his left hand. There he goes. Yater over to Zedrick. A little early to be going into a slowdown with only a 1-point lead. But the Lions have been very deliberate on offense all afternoon. Over to Yater. Yater, a little bit of a head fake on McClain. Nothing doing. Pat getting a little impatient with Zedrick. Comes out. DiDonato tries to go baseline. Shea slides over. Up top to Zedrick. Nicholas calls for the ball. Conwell's out on him. Swinging the ball over his head. Flying elbows. DiDonato drives. And he's going to be called for a walk. The South Fayette fans thought there was some contact on that play. The contact was probably incidental, and then DiDonato walked with the ball. Panthers, McShane bringing the ball over half court, 31-30. Holzer calls timeout. So with the score, 31-30, Coach Danny Holzer calls a timeout, 2:46 to go in the game. This is the first time in this young season that the Panthers have been behind this late in the game. Their first 3 contests were won handily, and the Lions have given them all they can handle here today. Again, we're broadcasting from the Upper St. Clair gym, Pantherland as Coach Holzer likes to call it. Not a big crowd here today, a vocal South Fayette crowd, some of them with Christmas decorations adorning their bodies. I see a couple of Santa Claus hats and a fan wearing some garland. I don't think I've ever seen garland worn before. And now we've got the fans chanting back and forth. They saw something in the cheerleaders' routine that they weren't very fond of. And now we've got the St. Clair fans chanting something back. Well, finally, a little life comes into the crowd, and finally, we're going to get the teams back on the court after a full timeout. A little bit of spirit, nice to see. These are 2 teams that don't play each other in the regular season. Again, St. Clair a quad A team and South Fayette a double A team. But it's nice to see the fans try to get the players fired up here at the end. Oh, Mindbreast might have gone away with the walk there. South Fayette bringing their defense out. They haven't pressured on the perimeter very much tonight, and I think it caught St. Clair off guard off of the timeout. Zedrick steals the ball off of Shea, but Mindbreast comes over and helps out nicely. Ball out of bounds off of St. Clair, but Mindbreast got back very, very quickly and blocked Zedrick's shot as he went in for the layup. DiDonato inbounding the ball underneath his own basket. McShane goes for the steal. Zedrick couldn't take advantage. Mindbreast cuts off Yater as he tried to go baseline, and that defense by Mindbreast results in a jump ball. Possession arrow belongs to South Fayette. Good defense by Mindbreast on that play. Yater looking to work the ball in the corner over to DiDonato. DiDonato into McElhaney. Turnaround jumper off the rim. As Mindbreast fights for the ball, there was some contact, and I think that's going to be the 5th foul on Bartels. And we've got Nicholas coming back in for the Lions. We'll have Mindbreast going to the line. Try to tie the game up. 2:03 on the clock. 31-30, South Fayette. I think this is Mindbreast's 2nd trip to the line today. He missed earlier trying to convert on a 3-point play. Back rim, no good. Rebound McElhaney. Throws an elbow. Conwell, some pressure in the backcourt. Conwell's got to get back on defense. Zedrick trying to penetrate against McShane. Clock ticks to 1:47. South Fayette protecting a 1-point lead. Conwell comes over, pressures Yater. Yater turns the ball over. Conwell on his knees wisely calls timeout. If he stood up, that would have been a walk. Heads up play by Conwell. Yater has looked a bit shaky whenever he's controlled the ball, or tried to control the ball out on the perimeter. And Conwell wisely pressured him and wisely pressured him, knowing that Nicholas, the man he was guarding, isn't typically part of the of the offense. Nicholas has made his presence felt off the bench with 6 points, but those were all of the offensive rebound variety. Again, during this timeout, we've got the crowd kind of chanting back and forth each other, trying to get their players pumped up for the remaining minute 36. It's been a low-scoring game. Again, 31-30 with a minute 36 to go. Was 19-19 at the half. So both teams have only put up 11 points and 12 points respectively in the second half. Sometimes that's the result of good defense. Other times that's the result of just poor shooting. It's not been one of the Panthers' better games from a field goal percentage aspect. Panthers have their starting lineup back in: McLean, McShane, Conwell, Mindbress, and Shea, the freshman. Coach Holzer hasn't gone very deep on his bench this evening. McLean dribbles into the corner, is picked up, over to McLean. A very, very quick jump ball. Possession arrow belongs to St. Clair. And it looks like they had doubled McShane on the line, on the end line, and the Lions were going to get the ball, but Panthers retained possession. McShane, top of the key, over to Conwell. Conwell fakes. McElhaney's not buying it. McShane looks to the bench for a play. Ball worked inside to Mindbress. He's quickly triple teamed. Ball goes out of bounds off a South Fayette player. With 1:10 remaining, St. Clair inbounding the ball into their own basket. Conwell breaks out. McShane looks to make a move on Cedric. Shea over to McLean. McLean into Conwell. Conwell tries to back in on McElhaney. Nothing doing. Ball around the perimeter. That's Shea's favorite spot. Shea looked to get it inside to Conwell, but he wasn't open. McElhaney quickly slid over. Mindbress, big step, drive, front rim, nothing. His own rebound. And the foul is going to be on McElhaney. Mindbress going to the line. Again, tough call. There was a lot of contact on that play. Mindbress aggressively going after the miss of his own shot, and that hustle resulted in a foul being called against McElhaney. Again, I don't have the stats in front of me, but the Panthers have been abysmal from the free throw line tonight. They had a couple of shots at a 1-and-1 here earlier. Mindbress on the last possession, and he missed the front end of the 1-and-1. I think he'll be, is it a 1-and-1 or two? No, they're saying it was not the act of shooting, so he's got the front end of a 1-and-1. Chance to atone for his earlier miss. Back rim, nothing doing. St. Clair, 30 seconds to go, down by one. They're gonna have to come up and pressure him to get a turnover. They need to foul him. They need to foul Cedric. Mindbress tries to steal the ball, but that's only the sixth. No, that's the seventh foul. So that will send South Fayette to the line. Cedric's a little shaken up. I think he got hit in the face, or it looks like he lost the contact as Mindbress tried to strip the ball. It appears that he may have dislodged the contact. Oh, the coach is looking for the contact as well. This is one of those times when, as an announcer, you've got to find clever things to say, even if you don't have anything prepared. But fortunately, it didn't go too long. It looked like number 22, DiDonato, had the sharp eyes. Cedric's going to step over, get some help from the trainer. Is he going to put it back in, or is he just going to, they've got the solution, he's rinsing it, and he's going to put it back in. Would have been a nice benefit to the St. Clair Panthers had he been forced to shoot a free throw with one contact missing, but that's not going to happen. game reset, 28.6 to go. Cedric's going to be going to the line, shooting the front end of a 1-and-1. Panthers will look to either box out nicely, box out well, get the ball back, and try to tie the game up or take the lead. Now it looks like it looks like Holzer may have called a timeout, or at any rate, he's at least brought his team over to the bench to set up their defense and then call and set up a play on offense should they get the ball back. Panthers are hoping Cedric misses the front end of the 1-and-1 so they can get the rebound and with a chance to take the lead. Worst case scenario for the Panthers is Cedric misses and the Lions would get the rebound. Even if Cedric makes both of his free throws, it'll still be a one-possession game. Let's see what the young man with the clean contact does. Cedric bounces around, shooter's touch. 2-point lead with 28 seconds to go. Even if he makes it, it'll still be a one-possession game for the Panthers. Rattles around, same spot. 28 seconds to go, Panthers down 3. Do they work for a 2-pointer or just try to take a 3 here? Look like they're trying to set up McShane. McShane drives, looks for Shea. Shea goes baseline, kicks it out to McLean in the corner to tie it up. Yes! Big shot by McLean. Steps up with a 3-pointer, 10 seconds to go in the game and ties it up. That's the biggest shot by the Panthers of this young season. And I believe that we'll have South Fayette call timeout, trying to set up a play. Big shot by Dave. He was a good 3-point shooter his whole career. He played for St. Louis. He also played on my 8th grade rec team. Both him and Adam Anderson were on my team, along with my son and a few other athletes. Unfortunately, my coaching ability did not take the team as far and deep into the playoffs as perhaps it could have. But there was a team with Cartier and McShane that I think won the league that year. Some nice in-house competition. At any rate, if you're South Fayette, what would you do right now? I think you work the ball and you get the ball into McElhaney's hands, get him to take a shot probably as quickly as possible, with the hope of getting an offensive rebound. That's where they've gotten their, Steve Nicholas has been very, very productive for them off the bench, picking up offensive rebounds. If you're St. Clair, you don't want to foul. I think you'll see some backcourt pressure just to keep them from getting the ball up too quickly. Poloshenko has checked into the game. Holzer tells him he wants him. They're not putting anybody on the ball inbound. DiDonato up the right side, dribbles. McShane picks him up. He's looking around. He takes a 3 off the back. Rebound to Mindbreast. There was a couple of elbows thrown. Not the best shot, but DiDonato had to put it up before the clock ran out. Mindbreast might have gotten fouled on the rebound, but I think that's a good no call. You don't want the game decided on a ticky-tack incidental contact foul with a half second to go. So in the high school game, we have a 4-minute overtime, and we'll play them as long as it takes to find the winner. Let's just recap some of our scoring here in the second half. We had McLean, after being shut out in the first half, scored 5 points in the second half. That big 3-pointer with 11 seconds to go from deep in the corner to tie it up. McShane leads the Panthers with 10. Mindbreast has 7. Shea has 5, didn't score at all in the second half. McLean, after being shut out in the first half, contributed 5, all in the fourth quarter. Conwell made a couple of free throws to go with his basket in the second half, and Anderson had 2. Going into the overtime, one of the starters for South Fayette, Bartels, he's on the bench. That can't be a good thing when you have a starter. Panthers going with their starting lineup. The Lions have Cedric, McElhaney, DiDonato, Yater, and number 3, Steve Nicholas. Panthers control the tap. working on the perimeter to McLean, running their continuity offense. Lions matching up in a man. They only played that zone 1 or 2 times down court, and I think was to try to protect Bartles earlier in the game. McShane dribbles past Cedric. Offensive rebound to Mindbress. Mindbress misses the layup. Tough rebound by number 20, Nicholas. Here come the Lions. 3:28 to go in overtime. Cedric setting up at top of the key. McShane over to guard him. Shea on Yater. Mindbress on DiDonato. Conwell comes out on Nicholas. Coach Bonaire from South Fayette calling it a play. Yater tries to dribble drive on Shea. Conwell helps out. Nothing but air on that shot. And as he's going to the ground, Mindbress dumps it off to McLean to save a walking violation. McLean dribble drive, dumps it off to Conwell, who's fouled as he goes up for the layup. Good foul on the part of the Lions. Don't want to give anyone an uncontested shot at this point in the game. I'm going to be quiet and not say what Conwell has done from the line so far tonight. Seems I've been jinxing him. Bounces around and out. Dane's been out there pretty much the whole game today. I'm trying to look at my score sheet to see if he sat down at all. I think he gets the Iron Man award today. Him and Pat have been in pretty much the whole game. Second one bounces out. Panthers, again, if they've made some free throws, this game would have been over in regulation. Lions working the ball on the perimeter. DiDonato tries to dribble past McShane. Nice move by DiDonato. DiDonato's just a little bit bigger and stronger than McShane. Not much else he could do on that play. Panthers need a bucket to tie it up. 35-33 as the clock ticks down to 2:13 in overtime. Yater comes out on Shea. Mindbress's man falls down. Mindbress's man fell down, and then as number 20 came over to pick him up. Who's 20? That's Opar. As Opar came over to pick up Mindbress, got there a second late. Now they're calling it on Yater. Yater's going to be fouled out. Again, that just goes back to what I was saying a few seconds ago. A little bit better free throw shooting by St. Clair. They've played good defense. The Lions have not gotten many good shots, but the Panthers have forced many turnovers by the Lions. But the Panthers just not shooting well from the field or from the line tonight. Mindbress first rattles around and in. Little shooter's touch for Mindbress. First Panther points in overtime. Tied up. He makes both. 35-35, 2:05 to go in overtime. And with all these timeouts today, these coaches are making me talk a lot. I'm not happy about it. But at any rate, this is how you earn your stripes in the broadcasting field. Someday, when I'm on ESPN and these tapes are in the Broadcasting Hall of Fame, you can say you knew Hank when he was just starting out. Cheerleaders doing some cartwheels for entertainment here, trying to get the fans a little fired up. The South Fayette cheerleaders exhorting their fans with some cheers of their own, some Go Lions cheers. I was talking about my Bucknell Bison earlier today. They're in the middle of finals and have a week off. When they come back from finals, they'll have games against Ryder and St. Joe's, all at home. They'll look to take their record to 8-1 with 3 home victories before going to the Cable Car Classic. First time they've made that tournament. And they'll be making that trip out to San Francisco. BU and a couple of West Coast schools they'll be in that tournament over Christmas. Then when they come back at the New Year, they get to make a trip down to Cameron Indoor Arena with the Cameron Crazies. It'll be a real challenge for Flannery and his boys. So let's go. South Fayette underneath their own basket, inbounds the ball, some full court pressure by the Panthers. 35-35, 2 minutes to go as Zedrick crosses half court. We've got Shea picking Zedrick up. McShane has guarded him most of the game. McShane's over on number 10, Salko, away from the ball, catching a little bit of a breather. Polashenko also checked back in during that timeout for the Panthers. Nicholas drives, Mindbrest comes over, clean rejection. Nicholas thought he had a clear, no, it's 20 Nicholas? No, I'm sorry, 20 is Opar. Opar thought he had a clear break to the basket, but Mindbrest shut that down. Conwell deflects the pass into Opar. Opar over to Salko. Salko 3, front rim, out. Mindbrest on the break. Conwell switches hands. Oh! He was fouled as he went in, but that would have been a nice one to convert. He made a nice move, switched from his left hand to his right hand, glided past the defender, but it wouldn't drop. Conwell goes to the line. 1 for 8 tonight from the free throw line. He'll be shooting 2, chance to give the Panthers the lead. First one is good. Sigh of relief by Conwell. Second one. It's up, rattles around, good. Front rim, back rim, through. Gives the Panthers a 2-point lead with 1:19 to go. South Fayette, as Zedrick crosses the midcourt line, calls timeout. Now South Fayette had a bit of a disadvantage here. They have 2 starters, Yater and Bartels, that have fouled out. I haven't seen number 23, McElhaney, in for a while. Now he may have fouled out too. I'm not sure. He's a 6'6" forward, so as a starter, I can only imagine he's either injured or he did foul out. So three starters out for the Lions right now. The last couple of trips down court, the Panthers have turned up the notch on the defensive pressure and forced the Lions into either bad shots or into turnovers. That's really been the story of the game. Panthers creating turnovers on defense, Panthers not being able to make 3-pointers, Panthers not being able to make anything from the free throw line. But here in the overtime, they have stepped up. Mindbrest made a couple, and Conwell made a couple. For the Lions, we have Zedrick, he's still in, DiDonato, Nicholas, Opar, and number 10, Joe Salko. So again, 3 starters are out at this point for the Lions. Panthers still have their, Polashenko is in for McLean on defense. No, McLean's in. No, McLean is out, I'm sorry. Mindbrest comes over to help out, but Shea, I think they're going to catch Shea with a little push. The bigger, stronger, older DiDonato worked inside on Shea. Christian, a good-looking young freshman on the Panthers club, but DiDonato's a strong kid. He was also the quarterback, I believe, on the South Fayette line football team. So a little bit of contact is not unusual for him. Holzer making the offense-defense switch, brings in McLean for Polashenko on offense. DiDonato, second one, front rim, rebound. Conwell fights for it. Lions picking him up in the back court. Here comes Mindbrest over to McShane. Panther lead, 1 point, 37-36. Clock just under a minute. I don't think you'll see the Panthers take anything other than a layup at this point. And at some point, the Lions are going to have to come out and pressure the ball or foul. And there's the foul that I just talked about. Panthers have nursing the slimmest of leads, send McLean to the line. I think this is Dave's first trip to the line tonight. He's got 5 points. He'll try to extend that Panther lead. First one rims out. Panthers in the double bonus at this point with over 10 fouls in the second half by the Lions. So the 1-and-1 is off. McLean will get 2. Second one rattles out. Again, poor free throw shooting plaguing the Panthers here in overtime. 39 seconds. Panthers nursing a 1-point lead. South Fayette calls a timeout as they cross midcourt. And I think this close game is a little more than the Panthers bargained for coming in tonight. But again, I think it might show one of the weaknesses that the club will have as the season wears on. And, you know, for all our shooting and athleticism, we're just not a very tall club. Mindbreast is our tallest player at 6'4", and he plays a small forward shooting guard position sometimes. He's not our center. Conwell's been lining up as the 5-man. Mindbreast either the shooting, you know, the power forward or the shooting forward. The Lions right now are playing with a small lineup themselves. Their bigger players have all fouled out. And unfortunately for the Panthers, we have just not been able to take advantage of those free throws. Our guards have been penetrating, making it to the basket. We're getting the layups, and when the Lions are fouling us, and it's a strategy that's working for the Lions at this point. Lions sticking with the same lineup of Nicholas, Opar, Zedrick, Salko, and Zedrick. Cedric's got to be tired. He hasn't been out very much tonight. Paul Schenko back in on defense. Otherwise, we've got the other four players are the starters for the Panthers. McShane picks up Zedrick at the top of the key. Looks like he got away with dragging that left foot. Opar tries to give a head fake to Mindbreast. He didn't buy it. Nicholas, 20 feet away from the basket, over to DiDonato. Giving Salko room to shoot. Clock down to 17 seconds. Timeout, South Fayette. That looks like that was coach's strategy all along. Just wind some time, protect the ball, and call another timeout with 14.4 seconds. He's just trying to torture the poor announcer that's here by himself and talking all afternoon. I'm going to have one sore throat today, at any rate. Look for Paul Schenko to stay in the game. If you're the Lions with 14 seconds down one, I think they're going to try to isolate DiDonato. Shea has been picking him up. Shea, good young player, but DiDonato is a stronger, taller, more seasoned player. Again, a senior off of the football team. And I'm guessing that if you're South Bay, you're going to try to work the ball into his hands. Get a shot off quick and have Nicholas crash the boards. With 6 points in the second half, he's been their most consistent offensive weapon. Let's see if I guessed right. Panthers back out. Paul Schenko matching up on DiDonato. So, maybe Coach Holzer saw that same matchup problem. Paul Schenko a little taller than Shea. McShane pressures the ball. Cedric turns it over on a walk. Again, those quick feet of McShane and just the pure athleticism forced the turnover. Looks like we've got McLean trying to check now, and Holzer is going to call a timeout with 10.6 seconds to go. Look for the Lions to foul immediately. They're putting in number 12, Jordan Ramage. Look for him to commit a foul as soon as he can, either on the ball or away from the ball. Back in the old days, growing up watching the Knicks play, Mike Reardon used to be the guy they'd send in to commit a foul. That was back in the days when near the end of a quarter, near the end of the half, in the NBA, a free throw or a foul on the floor was only one shot. Coach Holzman would play for the foul and give him one shot and get the ball back for two if you had fouls to give. And he'd either put in Donnie May or Reardon, two crowd favorites back in New York, as they used to call him a hatchet man. I'm not calling Ramage a hatchet man, but look for him to foul as soon as he possibly can. Panthers being exhorted to get out of their huddle and back onto the court. Panthers stay with their starting lineup. Again, Lions are a little depleted. They're going to put pressure on the ball in the backcourt. They get the ball over to Mindbreast. He's fouled immediately. Looks like it'll be number 3, Nicholas. Mindbreast will go to the line. 9.2 seconds. He'll have 2 shots. And foul was on Nicholas. First shot, good. Gives St. Clair a 2-point lead. still remains a one-possession game. Even if Mindbreast makes it, it'll still be a one-possession game. Although the Lions have not shown the ability to make a three here tonight. Poloshenko checked back in. Mindbreast makes two big free throws. McShane steals the ball in the backcourt. The Lions were a little sloppy with the inbounds pass, and McShane stepped up from his, what looked like from his cornerback position to make the steal in the backcourt. Now that's a play you would have seen last year by Cam. Cam Griffin would have made that play, and he made it over and over again. And McShane took a page out of the Cam Griffin playbook and made a key steal in the backcourt. He'll go to the line with 2 shots, makes the first one, and that pretty much will salt the game away, give St. Clair a 4-point lead. Just needs to make one of these. And I think we had a Lion player fouled out, and they'll be bringing in a substitute. And I think that was Zedrick that fouled out. They're calling Zedrick over to the bench. Now I think we're okay. We're square. 6.4, Panthers 3-point lead. McShane, first one good, gives the Panthers a 4-point lead. Holzer is going to call another timeout. Well, certainly anything can happen, as we saw earlier this week in the Virginia Tech Duke game. But with 6.4 seconds to go and a 4-point lead, it'll take nothing short of a miracle for the Lions to get 2 possessions and make a couple of shots. Fairly low scoring contest here today, considering we're in overtime. Just a 30-second timeout for the Panthers. Again, can't say enough about that last play that McShane made, where he saw that the Lions needed to get the ball in quick. They got a little lazy, a little sloppy, and he stepped up and jumped in, as he did so many times during the football season. I believe Pat had 5 interceptions, made all conference first team from that position. Again, another one of these top athletes in the Upper St. Clair's junior class. Okay, here we go. One shot. McShane taking his time. Back rim. South Fayette gets the rebound. I don't think you'll see anyone from St. Clair go anywhere near a South Fayette player. Back rim as the clock runs out. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. In overtime here in Upper St. Clair, the Panthers prevail 40-36. A couple of key free throws down the stretch. Buzzer beater, 11 seconds to go by McLean to tie it in regulation. And the Panthers go on to win 40-36, taking their record to 4-0. Drops the South Fayette Lions to 2-2. Thanks. This is Hank Chesko signing off. Our next game, Hank Brown should be joining me, so you'll have both of us. And good night and take care.